The one bit of advice that I would give to any young lady out there that's trying to make some decisions about their life is to keep the door open. Don't close any door. Explore absolutely everything. And you don't just have to do that when you're young. You can do that throughout your whole life. Everything changes. And what you're interested in today may not be what you're interested in tomorrow. But if you broaden your scope as much as possible, you'll find something that makes you happy and fulfills you and feels comfortable for you.
There's an adage or a saying that, curiosity killed the cat. But also curiosity kept the cat passionate, I mean, there's a point where you need to just hold back a little bit. But I love being curious. Allow yourself to have wonder. Wonder is really important because there are a lot of things that can trouble us. And just, let the still small voice be curious and find passion.
Life is meant to be enjoyed. You are meant to be someone important. You are meant to be a leader. And no matter what bumps happen to end up in your path, know there is a destiny for you to lead, to inspire. And the first person you need to lead and the first person you need to inspire is yourself.
I think it's important for young ladies to really be willing to develop a strong relationship with themselves, to love themselves, to respect themselves, to recognize that you are precious and that you are your biggest advocate, that no one's going to love you any more than you are able to love yourself. No one's going to be able to honor you any more than you are able to honor yourself.
One thing that I wished I had realized when I was young is how young I was and how much time I had. I would just say to girls out there, explore everything. If you have an interest in anything, try it. I mean, you never know what's going to come of it, and maybe just not liking it at all would be great. Maybe being really bad at it would be great. But I think just embrace your opportunities.
Develop your own passion. Decide what's most important to you in life. And also be sure about who you are and be comfortable with who you are as an individual. I think that's the number one thing for young girls is to, as people say, get comfortable in your own skin. I think, there's a lot of literature about what makes a good leader. And the one thing that stands out is authenticity, that sense of knowing who you are and being comfortable with it.
If you're a science nerd, if you love math, don't be ashamed of it. If that's what you want to do, go for it. There's nothing wrong with loving science, with loving math, and there's so many women who have made successful careers out of loving science and loving math, so don't be afraid of it, don't be ashamed of it, and just keep pushing forward.
And I've always tried to encourage the people that I mentor that instead of being just a recipient of science and technology, whether it's with our fancy smartphones and all of this technology, but to actually contribute to the technological advances that are just moving so quickly in our society. And I just feel as women, we have a unique perspective and a unique, sense of creativity that could really be instrumental in these monumental medical as well as scientific breakthroughs.
Nothing bothers me more than when a girl comes and says, I'm a girl, math is hard, or, this isn't something that I like or that I want to do, and I tell them, all the time that those are the skills that are going to get you further in life, and math is important, and you'll use it, in all sorts of ways, and it'll get you through the door and doing cool things that you maybe never would have thought about before.
Even if a particular girl doesn't go into math or she doesn't seek it as a potential career, it still gives her the necessary tools that she needs in her everyday life or her career, and how to process information, how to think of a problem, how to come up with various ways of dealing with a particular issue.
I've always thought that it doesn't matter what you are in life. I could be a street sweeper. I could be anything. And if I'm going to be a street sweeper, you will say that's the patch of road that Nina swept, because it would be so spotless. And I take that attitude and that drive into anything that I do. So in my career, my work, I always want that to speak for itself. So I have a work ethic that just allows me to be driven and to push for perfection.
Regardless of what background you're in or where you come from, if you can imagine yourself doing something, if you can visualize yourself in a career position, then that's really all you need, and you just put the work in behind it, but never sell yourself short.
Sometimes your purpose in life can be determined by the things that you like. So the very things that you like, the very things that you enjoy are often the reason that you were created. So if you're looking for that reason, look deep down inside at the things that you like to do, things that you enjoy doing. That's probably the career or careers you should pursue.
Be yourself, find out what you're passionate about, because you can always put your passion into your job.
There's a lot of people who can stand in your way, or who will tell you, oh no, you can't do this, or oh no, you shouldn't do this. If you want to do something, if you want a certain career, if you want to get into a certain field, then you follow that and you do it. If that makes you happy, then you do that.
And so if you've got a negative voice in your life that's telling you you can't do this, you are limited in your choices in this way, you don't need to be around that negative voice. Because the truth is, if you work hard and you have an idea about what you want to accomplish in life, you can do that.
Criticism, don't validate it. You know, understand that there's a place for the critic in your life, but use those conversations around what you can't do to propel you into the belief and the faith of what you can do, and just do it.
The director of our program said, what I need you to learn how to be is a duck. Like how ducks would go, like dip their heads or their whole bodies underwater, and when they come up, all the water just falls off. That's pretty much is what she's saying, is that don't marry yourself to your work. Don't be so narrow focused that you don't take criticism in, that you pretty much grow a thick skin and you welcome criticism to make you better.
When one door may close in your face, another one will open. When I hear the word obstacle, it seems like it's a negative connotation. Whereas I try to do the opposite. I try to think positive, be positive, and that to me helps me to overcome obstacles. I know a lot of times it takes a lot of energy to be upset and be mad when things don't go your way, and that's life. That does happen.
My parents always told me, always find people that are on the same level as you. Don't settle for less, because you're going to get less than you settled for. And if you surround yourself with people that have the same goals and ambitions that you do, they're only going to build you up, and they're never going to tear you down. And if you're honest with them, they're going to be honest with you, and a good friend isn't going to lie to you.
Surround yourself with people that are supportive, motivated, and also willing to provide you with critical feedback. Nobody is perfect, and you do need that outside view to kind of encourage you and to also see what you could improve on. And that would allow you to, I guess, be the best you can be.
My grandma used to say that you are not a gold coin, and not everyone's going to like you. But people can still respect you for what you believe in and what you do. And I think that's something that's really helped me and guided me in my conversations. Because I'm a very friendly, cup half full type of person. So I always like people to like me. But realize that sometimes our personalities aren't going to work, and that's okay. But that we could still have a professional relationship, and you can have respect for what I do and what I believe in. And that will be crucial to moving your ideas and your projects and your initiatives forward.
Girls have a gift for listening, and that's a great way to start off by leading a team. So building a team full of experts and people who are smarter than you is really important, and then listening to them, but then not being afraid to speak up and take control of situations when you need to.
We tend to be perfectionists. I certainly tend to be a perfectionist, and I just learned that, if the
You know, if the painting on the wall is, you know, a half a centimeter off, it's okay. You know, you don't have to stop what you're doing to go over and fix the painting. But in all seriousness, is to not be so hard on yourself. You're going to make mistakes. Always know that you're going to learn from those mistakes. And the past and the mistakes that you made is what makes you what you are today.
Always be vigilant in telling people what it is that you want to do, because you never know who can help you. And that's something that is so important. You never know who could be a mentor, who could grant you an internship, or who could open the door to give you a job. Be confident, because when you're confident in who you are and what it is that you're working to do, it attracts people to you.
It is so important to be considerate of your friends, family, just to be nice and be kind, because you never know what someone is going through in a day. And just a kind word or a thank you or a compliment, how that may affect them and may brighten their day. We all tend to sometimes say things that aren't the nicest, and everybody does it. But always be conscious of what you're saying to one another, because you never know when you may hurt another person's feelings. So always, always be kind to one another.
Creating your life and knowing that you have the power to do that. I think, unfortunately, many people think that it's all external stimuli, external events that shape your journey. But at the end of the day, it's you creating your life. And if you can hold to that truth, that it's my job to create my life, my future, then you can do it. You can do whatever you want. There are no limits.
You have the ability to live independently and live a good life. I remember, you know, I used to play with Barbie dolls. When I was growing up, Barbie didn't have a job, but she had a great house and a car and, you know, good clothes, you know, and I think, you know, Barbie's evolved a little bit. You know, she's a pet doctor now, but, you know, you can have the Barbie lifestyle. You know, you can be single and awesome, and you can have your Ken, you know, Ken can come over when you want him to come over, but you've got your own money, you've got your own car, you've got your own house, you know, and one of the things that STEM-related careers can do is offer you the kind of money that you need to have that glamorous lifestyle.
Don't be afraid to take risks. I think young girls sometimes are afraid to speak up. I think they're afraid to share what they think or how they feel. And I think that a lot of the times, the very thing that they're thinking or they might feel may be what needs to be said. Never feel like you have to take a back seat because you're a girl. You can always, you know, you can be strong, you can be courageous, you can be brave and still be a girl.